Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something pretty amazing, the science that connects what's happening in your gut to living a long, happy life. We're drawing from the incredible work of Dr. William Li to figure out how these trillions of tiny organisms inside of us could actually be the key to our health. It's a game changer.
Okay, so here's what we've got lined up. First, we're going to talk about what longevity really means. Then, get this, we're exploring a shocking discovery about the brain that flips everything we thought we knew. We'll look at the secrets of people who live past 100, meet their little microscopic buddies, figure out how to feed them, and then pull it all together to see how we can fight off the biggest things that get in the way of a long life.
All right, first things first, we need to change how we think about this whole longevity thing. Dr. Li makes a fantastic point. It's not just about adding more years to your life, right? It's about health span. It's about the quality of those years. Actually enjoying them.
And that simple shift, it's so important. It takes the conversation out of some sterile lab and brings it right back into our real everyday lives. Because at the end of the day, that's what we all want, isn't it? More good years, not just more years.
Okay, now for our first huge clue. And trust me, this one is a big deal. It comes from a place that, for decades, scientists were absolutely convinced was totally sterile.
Yeah, for so long, the rule in medicine was simple. The brain is a sterile environment. If you found bacteria there, it was bad news, like meningitis. But a recent discovery just blew that idea right out of the water. Turns out, the brain actually has its own little ecosystem of bacteria.
And here's where it gets really wild. The crucial link is this. About 20% of the different kinds of bacteria in your gut are also living in your brain. Think about that. This one discovery has kicked open the door to a whole new world for medicine. So this raises some incredible questions, right? Like, could we actually treat diseases like Parkinson's with a probiotic? And this isn't some sci-fi fantasy. They're already doing research on a specific strain that in animal studies was able to stop Parkinson's symptoms in their tracks. That is just a groundbreaking idea. Okay, so that sets the stage. Now let's get to the main event here. We're going to look at the people who have already cracked the code, the ones who are living long, vibrant lives. We're talking about the superagers.
So, there was this really cool study out of Bologna, Italy. Researchers basically took a snapshot of the gut bacteria of a whole bunch of people, all the way from their 20s up to 114 years old.
And they really zeroed in on that elite group, the folks living past 100. They fed all this data into supercomputers and basically asked one simple question. What's so different about their gut bacteria compared to the rest of us?
And guess what? They found them. 4 specific bacteria just popped off the charts in this superager group. Now, the names are a bit of a mouthful. Odorbacter, Oscillobacter, Christensenolacea, and the one we're really going to dive into, Akkermansia.
So, okay, what do these little microscopic bodyguards actually do for us? Let's get to know the star of the show.
Akkermansia. This one is an absolute powerhouse. We already know it helps boost our immune system, dials down inflammation, and helps keep our metabolism and blood sugar in check. It's a real workhorse.
But wait, there is more. Scientists just found out it has a secret weapon. On its outer shell, it has this tiny little particle. Think of it like a piece of armor, called the P9 particle. And this is where things get really mind-blowing. Even if the Akkermansia bacteria is dead, totally pulverized, this little piece of shrapnel, this P9 particle, is still active. It floats around, talks to the cells in your gut, and tells them to make more of their own natural GLP-1. That's a hormone that is just fantastic for our metabolic health. Incredible. And the other bacteria in this superager crew? They're like the ultimate support team. They fight off bad guys like E. coli, they help balance your cholesterol, and they keep all your internal systems, like your circulation, running nice and smooth. When you see what they do, it makes perfect sense why these guys are hanging out in people who live really long, healthy lives.
So this is all starting to click, right? A healthy gut equals a long, healthy life. The big question then becomes, how do we get more of these little microscopic friends on our side?
Well, Dr. Li has this great way of thinking about it. He says to think of your gut bacteria like pets. You wouldn't forget to feed your dog or cat, right? You've got to feed these guys every single day. And if you want them to be healthy, you got to give them good food. Remember, you're not just eating for yourself. You're eating for 39 trillion little critters.
And the number one rule? Diversity. Our bodies are designed to eat lots of different kinds of plants. The problem is, all those ultra-processed foods that popped up after the 1950s, the stuff with a shelf life of 1,000 years thanks to emulsifiers and preservatives,
That stuff can absolutely wreck this delicate ecosystem. It basically starves our good bacteria. So, let's bring it all home. What's the real payoff here? Why should we care so much about our gut health? Well, it's about building a fortress inside your own body, a defense system against the very things that try to cut life short.
Dr. Lee calls them the two robber barons of longevity, cancer and cardiovascular disease. And just look at those numbers, they're staggering. The thing is, these aren't just bad luck. They are deeply, deeply tied to our diet and how we live. And this is where it all connects. When we take care of our gut, we're strengthening all of our body's natural defense systems, our immune system, our circulation, you name it. We're building this powerful internal shield that can help us knock these diseases out of the park before they even get started.
The science is pretty clear on this. The power to build a longer, healthier life, it's really in our own hands. It starts right there, on our plate. You've got 39 trillion allies just waiting for you to lead them. The question is, how will you? Thanks for joining this explainer.